This is Ben with bkashaaudio.com, and today I'm going to show you how I get a guitar tone using just the stock plugins in Reaper. So let's take a look at the signal flow. I'm in a session that has my guitar template track loaded, and I can easily load one into any session by just right-clicking, selecting Insert Track from Template, and then selecting the relevant template, Dirty Reverb Delay Guitar. And that creates 3 tracks. The first one is the main guitar track, second one is a reverb return, and the third is a delay return. So we'll go through the signal chain from top to bottom on the guitar track. I'm actually going to mute the delay and reverb returns, and we'll just look at the guitar track right now. So at the very top we have a tuner, pretty self-explanatory and very useful. I leave that enabled all the time, just to make sure I'm in tune when recording. Next we have a distortion plugin, and this is just a stock JS FX plugin that comes with Reaper. This provides the majority of the distortion. I'll shut off the second one so you can hear just the first. And this is what it sounds like with the reverb and delay. Shut those back off. And then we have our second distortion, and the second distortion acts as a boost for lead sounds or more modern sounds. So I'll turn that on, and I'll kind of toggle between the two. Alright, now underneath that we have a gate, and the gate is filtering out all of the noise that's coming from the 2 previous distortions, so I'll shut it off so you can hear. So that's with both of them on. And this is just 1 distortion. A lot less noise, but with 2 it's too much, so the gate really does a good job of cutting that out. And underneath that we have a recomp, and I'm just using the stock sustained guitar solo setting. I just adjusted the threshold accordingly. So that's doing quite a bit of compression, but that gives me a nice sustain when I'm playing a lead sound. So quite a bit going on there. And then finally in the chain there is an instance of reverb. So reverb you can load any impulse response into. It can be a reverb response, it can be a guitar cabinet response, which is what I've done here. And I've selected just a Celestion impulse response. You want to set the wet-dry mix so that there's no dry. It's all wet, 100%. We only want the affected signal. And then we set the performance, the max FFT, to 32, check off ZL, which is for 0 latency, and then we check off LL, and this gives this instance of the plugin another CPU thread to run on. So this gives you the least amount of latency when you're playing. And if you shut off the reverb, you can hear the difference that it makes. And this is with it on. And the impulse response that you choose in Reverb really affects the color of the guitar sound. So I'll just select a different one. Right now we're on low gain with a 421 and a 57. I'll select a high gain. So I'll actually play a chord and switch it so you can hear the difference. So that makes a big difference to the tonal color of the guitar tone. You can get some free impulse responses online, or you can purchase them from companies like Celestion. In the actual Reaper guitar amp plugin, they have some impulse responses that they use. I don't really care for them, so that's why I use Reverb instead. But you can see there's a list here of what's available. So that does it for the guitar track signal chain. We'll close that down. Let's take a look at the reverb track. On the reverb track, we have an instance of reverb, this time with a lexicon impulse response loaded in. And the setup is very similar to the one for the guitar cabinet. We want full wet signal, no dry, and we want the performance set to 32, ZL and LL checked off. And then what I do is route the guitar track via send to the reverb return. So I have a little bit less than full amount of the track being sent to the reverb. This gives you a much greater level of control over how much reverb you want and how loud you want the reverb to be. If you want more reverb, you can send more of the guitar track to it. And if you want the reverb itself to still be big but lower in the mix, you can lower the return. So this is a really good way to do it. Next, on the delay track, it's just a simple JSFX delay with tempo ping pong plugin. And I've just set the ping pong width to 0 so it doesn't ping pong between the speakers. So that's it. That's how I create guitar sounds using Reaper stock plugins. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. And for more video tutorials, visit bkashaaudio.com.